What's up, everyone? Garage 79R. We're in the Yaris. It might be a little noisy in here because I still don't have a door panel on my passenger door. I replaced the passenger. If you don't follow my Instagram, I replaced the passenger door. I got one off a red car. I actually got some white vinyl. I'm going to try wrapping it. I don't expect a close match, but just something that's not red. And of course, somebody is turning in front of me to take the fun road. Yaris has got new tires. Now, about a year, give or take a year or so ago, I purchased some AS05 tires for the Yaris. It's already better. And I did that because I don't remember exactly the timeline. It was right before I put the coilovers on. And I was like, well, I'm not driving as much. I don't need a premium tire. And I was looking for something that maybe it was just a little softer. The problem with the AS05s, they're a fine tire for what they are. But, shortly after, I put coilovers on the car. And I've been chasing an odd ride frequency thing that I didn't like. And it turns out it's the AS05 tires. Oh, yeah. Oh, these are... I'm literally the first 8 miles on the tires. They haven't even been worn in, and I can already feel the difference. So I would always get this kind of extra up and down motion. And I played with tuning the dampers, these standard Redshift dampers, and I finally figured out it was a tire thing. Because no matter what, it was always in the tires. So for me to dampen some of that with the tires, I would have to run the AS05s about 8 pounds higher, 8 more PSI higher than I normally would run, which I normally float around 29 to 32 on the front and usually 2 to 3 less in the back. And I noticed this when I put the snow tires on. Help confirm it. The snow tires actually ride better because they have a stiffer sidewall, and whatever they do, they handle bumps. So at that point, General released the replacement for their AS05, which I previously had on the car, and I love that tire. It's a great all-around tire for a sporty sedan like this. And I waited for it to come out and get some reviews, and I was thinking I was going to buy it. Well, it turns out they have a similar issue. They have a similar kind of vertical frequency that, can be noticeable on stiffer cars. So alright, well, I don't want to spend good money to get a similar trait. It's a more premium tire. I would still have more grip and whatnot, but it would potentially have the same thing that I'm trying to eliminate from the car. So I've been keeping an eye on the AS05s because there's still some in stock. And prices dropped again. Eventually, prices dropped to a point where they cost pretty much the same as the AS05s did when I originally bought the AS05s. And I could be pronouncing that wrong. I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but that's how I'm going to say it. So I went ahead and bought another set of the AS05s because I know I would like them. I loved them. They are a fantastic tire. And I drive less than I used to. So they will last me probably 5+ years. And I used to race on my AS05s. I used them a lot, and they just held up to everything. So I drive a little bit less, and when I do race the Yaris, I'm usually taking it out on the Falcon. So it's man, this tire, I could forget about it as my 3-season tire for the next 5+ years. They'll probably age out before they'll be fully worn out. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got another set. Had them swapped on. I really need to recondition my wheels. The paint's starting to flake off of them, but I don't really care right now. nice looking wheels ain't gonna make a difference on a car with a red door. And I had thought about I was gonna wait and recondition the wheels, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get the tires on. So yeah, I mean, this is literally the first, we're probably at about 10 miles now, the first 10 miles back on AS05s, and it's old hat. Even though I never drove the car with the AS05s before with this suspension, it just all the same feels are already back, and this is with brand new fresh tires that are full tread width or tread depth. And I said, I don't even have the release molding worn off yet, but I'm glad it feels exactly like I remember. The turn-in on these tires, that's what I loved the most, was how they turned in. So right now I have them set at 29 front, 27 rear. I tend to run brand new tires slightly under pressure, what I typically would run, just to help with wearing them in. Yeah, I mean, I'm not pushing the car. It was, again, brand new tires, but 6/10, it feels perfect. I'm sorry, I got change rolling along down here in my pocket underneath the radio. But yeah, sometimes the evolution of a tire is a step down, and that's what it looks like with the AS07. Again, I don't have a direct experience. I'm just reading off of reviews, and it seems to be a common trend with anybody with a sporty car. They kind of have a secondary vertical movement that shows up with the AS07. And I was having the same exact issue with the O2, and I didn't want to have that again. So yeah, this feels great. I think the tires cost me $335 to my door, from Tire Rack. So if you're interested in like a high performance all season, a good jack of all trades, see if they still have some in your size, because I mean, this is just a fantastic tire. And I know it's silly, but I worry about the details like this, and I don't even know how I don't know how I could convey how much time I sweat details like this. Most nights I'm up looking up tires and just chasing options and planning ahead, because that's just how I am. I'm the same with oil and oil filters too. I research way too much about them. But yeah, I mean, this feels great. I can't wait till they're a little bit more worn in, and I can really start pushing the car. I love the car. I love the sound this car makes. Yeah, so some other changes I made to the car. I've put some HPL, or high performance lubricants engine cleaner in. You run it at about a 25% ratio, and this motor should be clean, but I just want to see if there's anything kind of maybe packed away in the rings, some carbon buildup or whatever. It doesn't smoke, it doesn't burn anything, but it doesn't hurt to check and look. With that stuff, if you had a really sludgy motor, then you might check the filter at about 5,000 miles. But I know this motor's not sludgy. I've ran premium oil in it forever. And so I'm just experimenting. So I'm going to go about 1,000 miles on the filter. I'll change it out, I'll cut it open, and then inspect what's going on. The last filter had a little carbon in it. So that's why I think there's maybe a little something in the motor, but I had the valve cover off at about 160 when I did the valve cover gasket, and it was spotless. So what's going to be in the motor is more than likely in the ring pack. I run the Yaris hard. I put the stock airbox back on. I think I talked about that before. I also put just a regular cotton filter in it. I used to have an Apexi filter, but it's starting to get a little long in the tooth, so I put a standard replacement filter in it. It actually feels exactly exactly the same, which I didn't really expect any differences. I also ordered a new vapor liner for the door because this one I tore and my old one was torn up too. And it's weird. I've looked at some of the parts still available from Toyota for this. Like I could get a hood for $142. That's really cheap. Yeah, I could get door sills for, I think they were like $30-something, $38, whatever. Guess how much the plastic vapor liner is? I'll give you a minute. Now, mind you, you can still get clips and screws, for like less than $1. Where do you think a sheet of plastic, essentially, costs from Toyota? It's $18. And of course, in the process of ordering it, I forgot I wanted to order some other things to kind of take advantage of the pain of the shipping. Because where I order my Toyota parts from, generally the shipping rate stays the same as long as it's small stuff. And I totally forgot I needed to order a new gasket for the gas cap in the Highlander. And I just wanted to restock up on drain plug washers. I think I used my last one up. So I'll have to find something else to order to make ordering all that worthwhile. I don't know if the phone's picking it up, but I'm gonna go around and turn and hear the inside tire skipping because of the LSD. $18. It was 17 something, $18. And I tried. I'm like, well, sometimes you call the dealer and they'll do good pricing or match what you can get from dealers online. No. They wanted like $75 all in to get a sheet of plastic. I told the guy, I was like, look, other dealers are listing it for 17, 18 bucks. Plus about 10 bucks to ship it. He was like, yeah, we can't compete with online. And they wanted to sell me the plastic for, it was like $47, I think he wanted to sell it to me, plus another $30 special order fee. For door plastic, the flimsy one, not the door card, the vapor liner. It's like, it's all right, no thank you, I'll order it online from another Toyota dealer. So that should show up. And I got the white vinyl coming. I'm gonna try to get my door back together. I gotta figure out some sort of temporary seal at the bottom because of the way the rocker panel's crushed in, so I still have a bit of an air gap down there, so I need to rig up something temporarily until whenever I get around to replacing the rocker panel. Also took the Yaris for alignment, thinking, so I re-looked at the car and I'm like, well, maybe the control arm is not bent. At first I thought it was, maybe because in my head I convinced myself it was. No, the alignment was actually ever so slightly out. We just kind of re-towed it and good to go. Go figure. It just like ever so slightly tweak things. Maybe it just shifted the rack on the bushings or something. I don't know. But it drives wonderful, drives dead straight. This car took that hit very well. Considering how folded up that wheel is. I mean, I guess the door and the wheel took the bulk of it, but I thought for sure it at the very least slipped my bolts on the strut or something. Anyway, I'm rambling. So I just went a little hard on some back roads, and again, I'm not going too crazy because the tires are still brand new. What I find myself doing when I'm kind of like having a zen moment and I'm, having fun with the car, I tend to one-hand steer the car. I didn't do that really at all with the O2s. If I did anything dynamic, I was usually two-handing the car. And it shows how much confidence I already have back in the car with these tires. And I was like, they're not even worn in yet. I don't have the pressures optimized. And it's already like, it's old hat. Like I said earlier, it just feels really good. And these tires are very well matched to the dampers, the Redshift coilovers. And I'm just, the car's back. This is what I had for a long time, this feel. This turn in is just boom, there, and I was actually doing some slaloming, this stuff, off camera, and I was doing it kind of hard in a wide open part of road where there's nothing around, and the car was just composed, and it just felt right. So I'm happy to be back on these Generals, and I'm really happy that they're gelling really well with these coilovers, and it's the old car up a notch. That's basically it. It just feels right, and it actually makes me want to drive the car again, which sucks, because I try to set all my cars up for me to want to drive. I mean, even my street setup on Earl, I like driving it, and I just have bottom tier Westlake's on it, but actually it drives well enough on those where it makes it fun, because I also can just spin the tires on command, so I could be a little bit of a, like a high school kid in that car a little bit, but it keeps my overall cornering traction low, so I don't really go crazy around corners. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah. What's the only thing contacting the car to the ground? It's the tires. So make the right choices, and you'll be happy like me. See you guys on the next one.